Well. Welcome to Dino's Vault and welcome to a defining moment, because every time there is a Pulsar launch, the entire nation stands up and watches, because that's the kind of phenom brand Pulsar has become for the Indian bikers. I mean, it changed everything, looking beyond convention, you know, laughing at run of the mill stuff and creating your own identity and following your own path. That is what Pulsar means to us bikers here in India, because it kind of transformed people's perception of motorcycling. It gave the true definition of motorcycling as to the kind of fun and thrill and intensity that a bike packs within himself. So that is what Pulsar means to you and me. But now Bajaj have, you know, taken this kind of blockbuster and a phenom and kind of a hero of the masses, and they have tried to make it even better. So what do we expect, and how do they make something so good even better? That's what we're going to find out with these two new Pulsars, the Pulsar twins that have been launched recently. So let's turn around. So here we have the new Pulsars, kind of the new chapter unraveling in Indian motorcycling history, you can call it, because Pulsar has become a revelation in this motorcycling segment. A sport bike in the affordable range with all the bells and whistles, and that's what it was like. It was a game changer, it was a revolution, and you can go on singing praises. And more than that, it was part of our personality. Everyone grew up with a Pulsar dream. Like, I had my Pulsar 180, it served me for 6 years without giving me any headache whatsoever. Then came the fastest Indian, the 220, and that was an icon and a legend that it'll always remain. And then came the 200 NS and the RS, which so which kind of really upped the ante and took people's expectations to a completely different level, with state of the art technology and unbelievable features and equipment. And that was all about pushing Pulsar franchise to its limits. Now this is a smart move, is what I feel, because Pulsar has always been a brand for the masses, a hero of the masses. And how do you better this proposition in trying to offer more fun, more thrill, more value, and at the same time without diluting the true character of Pulsar? So that is what they have done with the F250 and the N250. Now the F250, as the name suggests, stands for the fairing it bears. The N250 is the naked version. So let's look at each of the motorcycle individually, because let not time play a constraint, because two bikes featured in one video, the video will be too lengthy. So let's start with the F250, because they call it the sequel to the Pulsar 220. It doesn't mean that they're going to discontinue the 220, because that's an icon that will always remain a legend forever. So that is something that the people will decide, because the 220 still continues to outsell the NS, and that's the kind of following it enjoys. Now whether this is going to change that is something that the people are going to decide for themselves. So as of now, it's all going to sell side by side. So there's no official announcement coming from Bajaj that the 220 is going to be discontinued. Now this is the additional option. Now how can they better the 220 in every which way? First of all, look at the design. Now a lot of design elements that you see has been made using state of the art design characteristics, or design techniques or technology of the new day and age. So the panels are better fitted, they are better finished and bolted on better. There's no rattling sound, there's no squeaking sound, and you have this kind of a double layer kind of a finishing. Like for the front fender, you can see a floating panel on top of the front fender, and the floating panel kind of theme continues even over here. Kind of a twin tone setup for the engine cowl, and the quarter fairing looks really well cohesive and well put together. It doesn't look awkward. Now both the bikes, when viewed on individually, look unique and sharp, and as two separate bikes This one doesn't look like they have taken that bike and slapped on a fairing. So that talks about the kind of design inputs that went into making each of these bikes, and each of the bike is unique in their character as well. That I'll elaborate in a moment. Now coming to the tank section, again muscular sharp edges and muscular tank design, that is trademark design element of the Pulsar family, continues. You can see the muscular lines and the sharp edges as well, and then of course the sharp line up front to make it look like an arrow that's ready to cut through the wind. Then then you have a nice little fly screen here, or a wind screen, which is effective to tuck behind and blast across the straights, and really comes in handy if you would like to look at this as a touring option, because wind protection plays a crucial role. Then you have this bifunctional LED. Yeah, let's turn this thing on. Yeah, because you have these reverse boomerang DRLs, and this is the bifunctional LED, which means the same LED projector works for the high beam and the low beam. Works for weight savings, make it lighter, and also longer lasting battery. It doesn't put a heavy load on the battery. LED turn indicators, 37 mm telescopic forks, so that's kind of an interesting inclusion. So I would have preferred 41 mm, but they do the job. Believe me, I've thrashed it across the track to my heart's content, and they are serving as a perfect balance between sport riding as well as day-to-day usage. So that is the thing that they were highlighting as well. Not everyone is going to take this bike on the track on a day-to-day basis. So this on a day-to-day basis you can use in the city as a regular commuter. On touring, it is absolutely perfect. Very well sorted suspension tuning, and on the track also it didn't feel bouncy while rushing through the corners. So canyon carving and all will be very much enjoyable on this. And then you have single channel ABS, massive 300 mm front disc. So this is a brand that they have acquired recently. So the brakes are good. Like I tapped on the front lever while doing 141, and it stopped without making any fuss or without any uncertain feel. So that's really good. Single channel ABS, which means the ABS is operational only on the front wheel. And then you have MRF Zapper tires. Now these are not radial tires. That is the only gripe I have, because the beauty of the handling of this bike is so good that it deserves radial tires. As it is, this does do the job at the end of the day. Replacement cost is less on a day-to-day basis. For the layman, this does the job. Only for true enthusiasts who want to push it on the track or try sharper lean angles while canyon carving, for them radial tires will be a good add-on. But 130, 70, 17 inch at the back and 17 inch up front. So this is a blend of, like, even a fatter tire ends up eating up your mileage. So they've they've always tried to work out a balance between a layman's usage and an enthusiast usage. So that is what the Pulsar strong point has always been. It satiates the appetite for speed and thrill for the enthusiast. At the same time, it works as a common man's machine. So another thing is the new layout. Now this is something I was really looking forward to. We've been looking at those twin LED strips for quite a long time. We wanted a different design, and this looks pretty kick-ass and carries through the legacy of the Pulsar franchise. And LED turn indicators, rear tire rugger, and of course the twin port exhaust. So this really sounds well. I'm going to give you the exhaust note in a moment. Again, monoshock at the back adds on to the better handling characteristics. Box section swing arm also does the job of aiding in better handling and better riding dynamics of this bike. Now gone is the perimeter frame for the NS. Now as I told you, this is more of a sequel to the 220 rather than the RS and the NS. So tubular frame, diamond frame structure, but the engine is used as a stressed member, so you can feel the difference the moment the balance and the confidence level even while you rev it is really sweet, and really I mean, you don't doubt it one bit while you're pushing it to the limits, and that is saying something. NVH levels have been improved vastly. Engine is as sweet as it can get. This is a twin spark layout, so 250cc single cylinder, oil cooled, fuel injected DTSI digital twin spark, not the triple spark, twin spark layout. Again, twin spark when compared to single spark layout offers faster combustion rate, better blend of power and economy. Power 24.5 PS, torque is 21.5 Newton meters. When I did the reaction video, I pointed out that this will be more of a torque machine. Many people call it TOD, torque on demand kind of a machine, and it is. Ring of the throttle and the motor comes alive beautifully, enough pulling power, enough revving ecstasy throughout the RPM range, and that is the advantage of having a flat torque curve. So that's what I'm saying. This is more of a touring centric bike that you will enjoy every bit. The tourer for the masses. People have been waiting for perfect blend of power and economy and decent mileage. Mileage ka they say ARAI mileage figures is around 39 kmpl, but in real world conditions, as per what they have tested, they say you can get up to 35 to 36, which is really good for a quarter liter machine. Now getting back to the Speedo, again infinity display is what they call it. They have retained the rev needle, which revs are hard each time the rev needle reaches the red line, so that is holding true to the old school true enthusiasts this thing delight. Then you have the speedometer, then you have the gear position indicator, the time, distance to empty, and all the relevant features. And you also have some settings here. So let's see what this, more of a distance to empty and kind of a trip. इसमें क्या है, odo and trip meters, ठीक है. So that's really good. And side stand indicator is there, so single channel ABS light is there. Backlit switches, I can't see it here, but I believe it is there because that's a hallmark element. Then you have the high beam flasher, assistant slipper clutch to watch your back while doing faster downshifts. The seat, now let me come this side. The seat is of very premium quality and gives adequate room for the rider to move back and forth. Even the pillion seat is easily accessible. ऐसा नहीं कि फर्स्ट फ्लोर का सीट है कि राइडर इधर बैठा है, पिलियन फर्स्ट फ्लोर पे बैठा है, वैसा नहीं है. So it is easily accessible even for ladies and decent amount of space for them. Then the foot pegs, again aluminum foot pegs here. Overall build quality and fit and finish, they haven't compromised anywhere. The engine casing and all looks very premium, well done, well put together. So price is around 1,40,000 for this, 1,38,000 for that ex showroom. And on road prices you can get in touch with your showroom guys, nearest Bajaj showroom. So this was a quick overview about the Pulsar F250. Another practical inclusion is the USB charging port that they have given here, but the mobile holder I think you need to install on your own, but still this is a good add-on feature that they have included. So this is it, sequel to the iconic Pulsar 220 is what I like to call it, because that's what they're hoping it to be. So the Pulsar 250 F, I just get a couple of laps, tight schedule, many riders raring to go. 5-speed gearbox, 24.5 PS, 21.5 Newton meters of torque. A flat torque is what they claim it is. First impressions, very refined. First gotta get a feel of the track. Very refined and very comfortable seating posture. Easily flickable, great handling characteristic. NVH levels are vastly improved. The fairing is effective. Coming into the parabola section, The brakes are good. 300 front disc, single channel ABS. Off we go, off the parabola, into the long straight, full throttle. Come on, man, push it. Good braking, great confidence. The Pulsar is all set to venture into another realm. Wow, comfort is really good. The best part is the versatility. You can play around with it on the track. Seating comfort is really good. Someone stopping on the track. I think it's Bulu bhai, maybe trying to vlog. Off we go again. It is. Two laps are done for me. Have to come and pick up another bike. You the exhaust note. You can see a nice grunt to it, a refined grunt. You can call it refined aggression.